Hello and welcome to the CM9798 Cup Final. If you've been following the blog over the last month or so, you'll know we've been building this for some time now. We started out with 8 budding competitors and we're down to the final 2. Before we get into speaking to Dan and Marco with me today for the final, I'd just like to place on record my thanks for the 6 other guys who competed in the tournament. You're all winners to me, but in another more accurate way, Dan or Mark will win. So let's get on with the final itself. Now, you should be able to see there the final is between Borussia Dortmund and Ajax. Now, Dortmund have been managed by Mr. Dan Williamson, who you may know from Twitter as @WinkVeron. Dan, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Glad to be in the final.
And we're glad to have you in the final. Now, we've got your squad on the screen there. Obviously, your big signing was Ronaldo, backed up nicely by Barthez. They were your 2 wildcards. Um, you've stuck with the old 5-3-2 attacking throughout the competition, really. And if I may say so, you've had probably the worst injuries of everybody involved. Um, Not just little knocks here and there, but like Lars Ricken getting the old 5-monther to start out with. Um, and even Scott Booth scored. So you haven't had the biggest squad, but you've come through 2 tough games. You must be quite confident going to the final.
Yeah, I'm quite. I wasn't confident from the beginning, but I seem to have done all right to come through those 2 games with a fairly limited team. Really, I feel like I've got 11 or 12 decent players, but apart from that, I'm struggling a bit. So quite happy, really. Quite happy that Scott Booth came off the bench and did his super sub bit as well. So pleased with that.
Super sub Scott Booth did
Yeah.
account for Juventus in the last round. Juventus probably had the strongest squad, in my opinion. I didn't say at the start 'cause I didn't want to put any pressure on anybody, but that Juventus squad is pretty special. So they took some stopping, but you did it. So let's see what Ajax have got to offer us. Now, as Mark can't join us with the audio today, but he has sent me in his team. He's stuck with this 4-4-2 throughout the whole competition, much to the delight of Chris Darwin, who took great shame of losing to a rigid 4-4-2 with his Real Madrid side. Um, but Gabriel Batistuta scored a hat-trick in that game. Um, he's obviously the big threat there, but the 2 wingers, Laudrup and Demchenko, very creative players. Ronald de Boer's missing this game. I think he missed the last game as well. He seems to carry a knock when the game starts. Um, but we all know how talented the Ajax team is. Mark added in Zanetti as well as Batistuta, so 2 Argentinians, Dan, which of course you know all about.
Yeah, I like that. It looks like a very strong team. There's no real weaknesses there.
There's not, and I certainly found this when I did my blog through as Ajax just before the summer, just gone there. There's such a strong team with great players. You could probably It's actually the polar opposite the Dortmund side, and there's probably 15 to 20 players there who you could put in the team without it making much of a difference. Whereas, as you said earlier, Dortmund have maybe 11 or 12, and after that you're really struggling a bit, especially when Paulo Sousa is no longer yours, as we found
Yes,
out earlier.
disappointing. But hopefully over just the 1 game it should be enough to see me through. I think if it was a league campaign or a longer tournament, I might be struggling, but hopefully 90 minutes is enough.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, and it probably has helped with the format of this competition. Just to go behind the curtain for a second, every single game has been played on a different save, so there's no injuries carried over or anything like that. And that was just the limits of what we could do really with a game that wasn't really built for network play. I think it's fair to say. So we've made the best of what we've got. All right then, let's get on with the game. Now, this match might be of interest to a lot of you who've entered the competition. We're looking for the scoreline, the first goal score, and the minute of the first goal. If I was prepared, I would have made a list of you all, but I'm not, so I'll announce that once I've gone through the many entries after the game. All right then, let's see what happens. I should point out as well, the rules of this tournament are if it's a draw, the away team wins because if someone has to be at home. The virtual coin toss, which was just me literally tossing a coin, Dortmund won the toss and are at home, which means Ajax have a slight advantage in that if they can nick a draw here, they will win. If it's 0-0, we'll replay. I'm not having a 0-0. And
sounds like Liverpool from the 70s and 80s when they were all the European Cups.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. Oh, there's a goal. That's a start. Bit of pinball in the box, and Karowski's your first goal scorer. Lots of people have said Karowski actually, so that'll be interesting when I come to check them out. Oh, he should have scored again. I won't attempt to commentate, it's too quick for me. But that is 2-0. And I think that was Chapuisat. It was.
You can't see my big smile.
If Mark had a microphone, it would have turned blue. Because he doesn't have audio, let's pretend Mark has a touchline ban and he's in the stands and that's 2-1. He's celebrating in the stands. He's standing up, he's doing a fist bump. And it's been disallowed. I'll shout at the fourth official. Well, that's 3. Let's hope Mark's got a Rafa Benitez team talk in him here, because this halftime team talk's going to have to be huge. Right, Dan, 3-0 halftime. That's all right.
Yep. That's I can't complain one bit. That's perfect. I was not expecting that.
Let me
I'll just plow on with the same team. I'm sure Mark wants to make a few changes.
I'll get on the old Bluetooth headset to Mark from up in the stand. I'll wait for him to come down the dressing room. He says bloody hell, which is probably fair. Now, looking at the ratings, I mean, obviously, as you'd expect, the Dortmund lads have been pretty imperious. Edwin van der Sar, by far and away Ajax's best performer. A lot of 5s and 6s in there. He can't sub all 11, but let's see if he has anything in mind.
And how have the match stats panned out in the first half?
Let's just have a look at that. It's very one-sided, isn't it?
Yep.
12 shots to 4, 9 on target.
Tactical masterclass.
That's exactly what it is. So Mark has asked to drop Lippmann back into number 10. I assume he won't bat do it in the middle. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Going for broke.
He's going to the old 4-2-3-1. Maybe it actually is Rafa taking the team talk. He would like a 4-2-3-1. Mark has settled on this 4-2-3-1 that he's set up on the screen here. So let's see if he just wants 2 diagonal runners to get them in the box as well. The next goal is going to be huge here. You've got to fancy if Ajax don't get it, that'll be curtains. Right, Dan, you ready?
Ready?
All right then, let's see what Ajax can pull out the bag here.
I'm actually quite surprised at the 2 scorers as well. You know, you would have expected one of the bigger names to be running the show, but
yeah, I mean, I certainly found that Chapuisat, for all his stats are awful, he just seems to know where the goal is on this game.
Yeah,
it's, pretty unusual, but as you say, you thought Ronaldo would have scored by now. He's had enough shots, like.
Yeah. Those 2 are the type of players that I would, if I was starting a Dortmund save, I would just sell them straight away usually.
Yeah. Well, that's that then, isn't it?
This is amazing.
4-0. 5-0.
Oh.
He's taking the match ball home. Tell you what, man, I don't think anyone's backed 5-0.
No. Yeah, very improbable score.
There's the congratulatory text coming in already for you. Well, that's
get the champagne out.
Get the Chano. Well, that's very one-sided. A couple of 10s in there as well. Ronaldo played a 10 without scoring. 24 shots to 7. 16 on target.
That's outrageous, really. I'm really surprised. Nicely surprised.
Well,
who assisted the goals?
Let's have a look. Ronaldo 3,
Ronaldo
1, and Jan Koller. I think that was the header in the first couple of minutes, which got saved about 3 times.
Yeah. So Ronaldo turned provider. Surprising not to see him on the score sheet, but good performance nonetheless.
7 attempts from him and 5 on target. Yeah, that's as comprehensive as it gets. Mark says this has gone well, which is an understatement. Yeah, right. Well, Dan, we'll give you the final thoughts on that then.
I'm delighted. At the start of this tournament, I didn't expect to go very far looking at the team on paper. Happy with Ronaldo and Barthez coming in, but I thought the other teams would have too much, so I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I must say though, when I found out I had Ajax in the final, I was fairly pleased compared to some of the other big hitters in there. But yeah, I never expected to win that, so I'm really happy. Glad to have taken part in the tournament. It's been good fun.
Yes, thank you very much for entering. As I say, that goes to all 8 of you, really. I do agree with you, actually, that probably what I thought were the 2 weakest sides have made the final, which is probably a testament to your two's managerial abilities. But,
thank you.
But I think it's been a success. It's been quite difficult to pull off, as I say, without any network capabilities. You've all done a great job of managing your teams. So, as I say, I'll be in touch later today with the winner of the prize competition, the bundle. Some of the prizes are better than others, as discussed. Hopefully, whoever wins it will enjoy the whole lot. Dan, you will get a trophy. It'll be on its way to you. Just parade it round. I mean, don't hire a bus. It's probably not that good, but still embrace it. I'll
put a bit of space on the mantelpiece.
Well, not too big a space. I don't want to give you false expectations here, but thanks very much to both of you, and thanks to everyone for watching. And I'll see you with a new blog that starts next week. Thank you very much. Bye bye.